All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you might be able to tell, if I stop speaking here, silence. Uh, Apparently, YouTube is starting to crack down on background music. So, a couple of my videos got flagged for having, that music. So, I decided I'd cut it off. So, you're just stuck now listening to my beautiful voice. Also, if I sound like death, it's because I am overcoming a cold. So, yeah, trying to get through that. So, yeah, I apologize for that. But, anyways, on to the season 2 recap show. As you see, we finished in first place in the championship. We got promoted, although we're probably not going to play any Premier League games because this will probably be my last video with the Xbox 360. It's been a exciting run. What has it been, like 8 years? And here it comes to an end. So anyways, excuse me. As you see, MK Dons, we finished 2 points ahead of Southampton. We actually had like an 11-point lead with like 8 games to go. And we just kind of stumbled our way to the finish line. We had, as you see, a ton of draws this year. And we lost 3 games, which is probably more than we've lost, in FIFA 13 and FIFA 14 in the 2 seasons we've played of this year's game. As you see, in 46 matches, we only scored 58 goals. That's pretty pathetic. But we only gave up 17, which is pretty outstanding. A goal differential of 41, which puts us, pretty good. At one point, I think when we had that 11-point advantage, we had actually managed to tie Southampton's goal differential. But as you see, they kind of came to some blowout losses, and we snuck by with our typical 1-0 victories or 1-0 victories. So, yeah, we finished 2 points ahead of them and 9 points ahead of QPR. As for the other competitions, the FA Cup, we didn't have nearly as good a run as we did the year before. I mean, I don't know. As you see there in the bottom right, the round of 16, we knocked out Newcastle 2-0 to advance to the quarters, in which we faced Fulham. And we actually dominated them, but I think we had like 8 shots on goal, and Stecklenburg just saved everything. So we wound up, getting bounced by Fulham. And that kind of sucked, but whatevs. And then the Capital One Cup, we made it all the way to the final this year after we got bounced out in, I think, the round of 32. And again, we gave up a goal to Chelsea, and we immediately scored. This is in the first half. We tied it up 1-1, and then they got a late goal off a corner kick to beat us 2-1 and take it. We actually had a shot in the dying moments, hit off the crossbar. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. But whatevs. It is what it is. So yeah, let's scope out the squad report. The goalkeeper we had picked up from Celta Vigo last year, he never budged from a 65. So we sold him in the January window, and this Jack Fusito guy, who is a youth squad player we had from the previous year, if you might remember, his numbers bumped and bumped and bumped. As you see, he went up +4 to a 65. So we decided we'd just roll with him as being our starter, since he was actually moving up, whereas the other guy wasn't. Hodgson moved up 3 to a 69. Zimmerman moved up 4 to a 70. I never know how to pronounce this guy's name. Ake or Ake. Apologize, Nathan, if you're watching. He moved up 3 to a 74. Mbai moved up 4 to a 69. Gleason moved up 2 to a 70. He actually was saying he was homesick throughout the season and wanted to be traded. And then, of course, at the end of the season, He asked for a raise, which I give it to him, and now he's very happy. So yeah, that's FIFA for you. Again, Yanuze, I never remember. Sorry. Sorry, Adnan. He moved up 4 to a 73. He's turned into a heck of a player, although his stamina is atrocious. As you see there, he moved up 3 to a 47. Grealish moved up 1 to a 70, and he's whining about getting loaned or traded, sold out, whatever, because he didn't play enough. Again, his stamina kind of sucks at a 61. Lopez moved up 2 to a 70. I'll just put it on this. Vasquez moved up 2 to a 72. He's a kid we found in the January window who was a free agent. And because of the way FIFA 14 is with not knowing their overalls, what I normally do, this is for anyone who wants to take this as note, he was demanding like $25,000 in wages, so I knew he had to have been good. So we signed him. He just turned 20, so he looks like he could be a star in the making. Villarreal moved up 4 to a 72. Really good player. I don't know why his morale is insecure, but whatevs. And I've said whatevs way too many times in this video already. Powell moved up 2 to a 67. Biteko moved up 3 to a 68. He was a guy we signed from Gremio, and he's turning into a pretty good defensive midfielder. Yeah, sorry, I had to cough. Marshall or Martial, he's wanting to be traded, which I don't know why. But anyways, I keep saying traded, sold. So he moved up 4 to a 69. Olinga, we signed from Malaga. He moved up 1 to a 66. Shrivers moved up 4 to a 67. Gauld moved up 4 to a 67. Some good players here. Jean Baptiste, he didn't budge. We barely ever played him. What'd he play in? Yeah, as you see there, 14 total games. And most of those are probably like substitute appearances. Marquez, this is a youth player we just promoted. 16 and a 69 overall. That is awesome. I mean, that is really awesome. At that point, we probably can get away with getting rid of one of ours, or at least putting him maybe as a right back. Pardo is another kid we signed from our youth squad. Only a 64. This is a kid we would, if we continued to play the game, we would have loaned him out, or at least tried to. Danny Turner is our backup goalkeeper. He is also from our youth squad. As you see, we played him in seven league games, 5 clean sheets, did pretty good, moved up 2 to a 64. Rodriguez Reese is, I think we might have signed him, I want to say in the January window as a free agent. He moved up 3 to a 65, pretty good. Gonzalez Emerson is another youth player. We tried to loan him out, but we couldn't. He got into a handful of games, moved up 3 to a 63. Franklin's another youth player who probably we would just cut. Moved up 5 to a 56. Julio moved up 1 to a 61. Ta moved up 4 to a 67. He's got some good potential. John moved up 3 to a 66, which that already puts him behind the youth player. Durham moved up 4 to a 70. This kid's someone we signed last season. Hunter moved up 4 to a 60. eBay or Ibe, I don't know, moved up 2 to a 67. He really didn't get much playing time. Manakana, it sounds like a Master P song, but he moved up 2 to a 66. Again, we didn't really play him much. He's got a lot of pace, though. Fagundes only moved up 1 to a 66. Azog, we had actually loaned him out to Sheffield United. He moved up 2 to a 67. Ostunali, he moved up 5 to a 67. He was on loan all season at Portsmouth. As you see, Portsmouth just played him a ton. Sarcasm. Garcia, we loaned him out to Sheffield. He didn't play much. Moved up 2 to a 64. And Ali moved up 4 to a 62. Again, loaned out, didn't play at all. Thank you, York City. So that's that. We'll move on to what am I looking for? Oh, let's go to the youth squad. Because we signed everybody. We only got 2 guys in here. Danny Clark, who's actually looks to be a pretty good player, depending on where that overall lies. If that moves up, he could be anywhere in the high 60s, which would be preferable. From what it looks like, he could be a left or right midfielder. You know how that goes, though. And this kid looks like probably a center forward, I'd guess. But again, 59 to 63. He's got high potential, but that low overall currently is not too good. Let's do this first. Russell for Wolves, 30 goals. We'll be lucky if we got anybody on this list with so few goals we scored. And nope, nobody. Assists, we got Marshall. They're at 13th with 7. And there was one more. John was 6th, 25th. Clean sheets. Fusito came in there with 11. The other dude we had signed probably would have been tops on the list. The guy we got rid of, because he was up there for a long time. But again, once you sell him, they no longer appear on the list. And as you see, also our backup Turner in there at 23rd. Yellow cards, of course, we don't have anybody. And red cards, no. So, popping out, we'll actually look at the team stats. Probably went the wrong way. There we are. So, yeah, Gold finished with the most, 35 appearances. Let's go goals. Villarreal finished with 9. Martial finished, I'm just going to call him Tony, finished with 7. Shrivers with 6. Gall with 6. As you see, we kind of spread the love out. Vasquez wound up getting 3 in only 8 appearances. So, yeah, a lot of guys with just 1. Assists, again, Tony and John with the bulk of them, and then everybody else just spread it out. Lopez played in 21 clean sheet games. Look at that. We actually picked up 3 yellow cards on the season, shocking as it is. And our averages, well, that's not too bad. That's pretty good for Franklin, actually, for as little as he played. And, of course, usually our right and left mids finish with the worst averages. Who finished bottom? Wow, eBay. He actually played a lot, more than I thought. I think those were mostly substitute appearances. Same with Fagundes. And when they come in as substitutes, it's always late in the game and the opposition is pressing, so we tend to give the ball away more than we normally would. That's ugly for Hunter. But, yeah, with that, how that works, when we give the ball away, their averages go down, and that's how that works out. They usually wind up with lower overalls than the guys who start the game. I did start getting some actual legit job offers at the end of the year. I think Sweden and Denmark, and I think Romania as well, which are better than like the New Zealand's. No offense to the all-white fans out there, or is it all? Yeah, it's all whites for the soccer or football team. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. 15 minutes long here. That's probably more than you want to hear me talk, with, especially with no music rocking in the background this time. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully it's FIFA 14 on the Xbox One. I'll actually bring some game footage with that because supposedly it's supposed to look better and maybe be a little more fluid. I'll probably look embarrassing as hell. But anyways, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next generation. Adios.